Hey, let's cover the part one portion of finding the equation of a line. And this is just starting off with the slope-intercept form. I've already kind of introduced this a little bit to bring it to your attention. Haven't forced it so much as I'm going to now. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope, and b is your y-intercept. All right. So if the y-intercept is 0 for x, the b is the y-intercept part. All right, so that's how it would be referenced in an ordered pair. If that confuses you, let that go. It's just where the line crosses the y-axis. We're going to write the equation of each line in slope-intercept form, given that we're given the slope and we're given the y-intercept. I'm going to do the first one, and then I want you to do the other three. So you can pause your videos and do that at that point. So for now, let's just start with y equals, and we need m, which is 1/2. So I'm going to do it like this. Y equals, we're going to leave, that's where the m is, x, and then it could be a plus or minus. I'm going to put a plus, and then we're going to have our b. So our m goes here, our b goes here. So m is 1/2 x, and then it's positive 5, so plus 5. That's my answer for A. Pause the video, go attempt at least B yourself, and come back to see how you did. Okay. All right, for the next one, we've got m is 6/7, so y equals 6/7 is our slope, x, and then instead of plus, we're going to put -1 because that's the y-intercept. Okay, pause your video and attempt the next one. Y equals, our m is -2/3. You're going to leave everything in fractional form, x, and then plus 1/3 for your y-intercept. And then the last one is y equals -4 for your slope. That's your m, x, but we're not going to put +0. We're just going to leave that. We're done. The y-intercept is 0, so we're going to leave it with nothing. Okay, that shows +0. Coming down here, we're going to graph each line by finding the slope and the y-intercept. So the first, you can pause the video and attempt this one yourself. Find the slope, find the y-intercept for each of these, and then we'll go through and do the graphing. All right, my slope for A is -3, and my y-intercept is going to be 0.6. Now, to graph this, I start with my y-intercept, 0.6, place my point, and then from there, remember what I told you in one of my other videos, you're going to treat the slope as rise over run. All right, so it's a -3. We've got a rise, but we don't have a run. Remember, if there's an integer, you can always put that over 1, and that gives us our run. So from the y-intercept, not from 0, from the y-intercept, we're going to rise, but we're going to go down 3. And when you run, you always run to the right. You always run to the right. So we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then run to the right 1. And then we've got, you can keep doing that, or you can just draw your line and label your line. Y equals -3x plus 6. Okay, the next one, I would like for you to pause the video and attempt it yourself. Okay, our y-intercept is 2, so 0.2 is my y-intercept, and then my slope is, looks like 2/3. So I'm going to rise, I'm going to go up 2, and then I'm going to run always to the right 3. Starting with 0.2, there's my y-intercept. I'm going to rise 2 and then run 3. 1, 2, 3. Place my point, draw my line. Put my arrows and then label my line. If you do not label your line, I don't know what it is. I don't know that you know what it is, so I'm not going to assume. All right, that's page 1. If you have any questions as you're going through this, write them down so that I can answer them for you. You just need to reach out to me, let me know, and I'm happy to meet with you on Zoom or in person, whatever works for you. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with these next two. We're going to find the slope and the y-intercept. Well, in order to do that, we need them to be in y equals mx plus b form. So we have to solve for y. And we do not currently have y solved for right now, so we need to do that. I'm going to do that by adding 6x to both sides of the equal sign. So then I have y equals 6x plus 2, or 2 plus 6x. It's the same thing. So this gives me a y-intercept and a slope. And I would like for you to go through and do that. What's the y-intercept? What's the slope? And then come down here and graph it. All right. Y-intercept is 0, 2. The slope is 6, but we want it to be 6 over 1 so we can have our rise and our run. So we're going to go up 6 and we're going to run to the right 1. Starting with the y-intercept of 0, 2, place my point. From the y-intercept, I'm going to go up 6 and then to the right 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1. And then draw my line. And name it. What? Well, I could go back and name it the negative 6x plus y equals 2. Negative 6x plus y equals 2. That's how we had it originally. Okay. Go through, solve for this one, and find the y-intercept, find the slope, and then graph it. If you don't feel comfortable, start with just solving for y, coming back and see how you do, and then do the y-intercept and the slope. See how you do. Let's just do piece by piece. If you're struggling with this, I got you. But you've got to attempt it yourself at this point because you've got to practice at some point. And I'm here to support you right now. So pause the video. I'll see you in a second. All right, we're going to start by moving the 2x over by subtracting 2x from both sides. And I get 5y is equal to negative 2x. And then I have to divide both sides by 5 to get y by itself. Y equals negative 2/5 x. All right. Once we find that, now you need to find your y-intercept and your slope. The y-intercept, there isn't one. So that means it is 0. I'm going to come down here and I'll use a different color. My y-intercept is 0, 0. So there's a point. That's my first point. And then from my y-intercept, I'm going to go negative 2 for my rise. So that means down 2. And I'm down 2. And then I'm going to run to the right 5. Right 5. From my y-intercept, I'm going to go down 2 and run to the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place my point. Graph it. And then label it. I'm just going to do 2x plus 5y equals 0. Could I do y equals negative 2/5 x? Of course I could. Of course I could. Either one is both correct. You just need to label it. Okay, 2 more. We're going to do the exact same thing. So at this point, I want you to pause the video, find the solve for y, find the y-intercept and the slope, and then we're going to graph it and label it. So go ahead and attempt E for yourself and then come back to see how you did. Solving for y, I need to first subtract 3x from both sides of the equal sign. I have to divide both sides by negative 2. So I'm just going to put it under every single term. I find there's fewer mistakes that happen when I do that. If you put this whole thing over divided by 2, it gets very confusing, and I don't want that happening to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, when you divide by 2, negative 2, put it under every term. So now we're left with y equals positive 3/2 x. Negative divided by negative is positive. And then positive divided by negative is a negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Do not want decimals here. I only want fractions, and improper fractions are perfectly fine. Now let's find our y-intercept, and that is 0, -4, and our slope is 3/2. Now, if I'd have left that -3 over -2, it's going to give me the same exact slope for my line, but it's not correct. When you have a negative divided by a negative, you need to change that to a positive. All right, so I'm going to rise 3. I'm going to rise up 3, and then I'm going to run always to the right 2. Starting with my y-intercept at 0, -4. Place your point. Then from your y-intercept, we're going to go up 3 and right 2. So up 3 and right 2. Place your point. If we had used the -3, -2, we would have gone 1, 2, 3, and then we would have had to go on left 2. And I try to avoid that by making sure that there's only a negative in that moves up to the numerator. It works, but it's still not proper math. Well, that should have been on the line, on the points. Oh, let's turn it this way. There we go. That's better. And label that 3x minus 2y equal 8. All right. Pause the video, attempt the next one yourself, and then come back to see how you did. Try to do the whole thing. If you get stuck, you can pop in, but I want you to do them as much as you can on your own. Okay, solving for y. I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides of the equal sign. So these are gone. You've got -5y is equal to -4x plus 20. And then we're going to divide every single term by -5. So we've got y equals positive 4/5. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 4/5 x. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. 20 divided by 5 is 4. My y-intercept is 0, -4. And my slope is 4/5. So I'm going to rise up 4 because it's positive, and then I'm going to run to the right 5. Starting with your y-intercept of 0, -4, same one as we have here, but we're going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to run to the right 5, right there. Make sure the same y-intercept. That's interesting. And label this 4x minus 5y equals 20. All right. If you have any questions, please make note of those now. Oh, okay. Well, this one's coming back to where we decide whether something's parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Remember, if the two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. It's the same. If they are perpendicular, that means their slopes are negative reciprocals. So you would have, let's just say m, and then the other one would be -1 over m. Okay, it would be a negative reciprocal. You flip them. So determine if the line given of x minus 3y equals 9 and the line given 3x minus 9y is equal to 18 are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So let's just solve for y for all of them to find out what the slopes are, because that's how we can tell. Starting off with x minus 3y equal 9, solving for y. I'm going to let you do this. Pause the video and attempt this one yourself. You can do the same thing for this one. Start off by doing that. Okay, I'm going to move x to the other side by subtracting x from both sides. I get -3y is equal to -x plus 9. Solving for y, I need to divide all terms by -3. And y equals negative divided by negative is a positive. This becomes 1/3 x. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So there's that line. Here's a different flavor. 3x minus 9y equal 18 pause the video and attempt it yourself, solving for y. Okay. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Negative 9y is equal to negative 3x plus 18. And I'm going to divide all terms by negative 9. And y equals negative divided by negative is a positive. 3 divided by 9 reduce by 3. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 18, like I said, positive divided by negative is a negative. 18 divided by 9 is 2. They have the exact same slope. They're both m equals 1/3 and m equals 1/3. So these are parallel lines. If there would have been 1/3 and negative 1/3, the answer would have been neither. Okay. In order for these lines to have been perpendicular, one could be 1/3, the other one would have to have been, so if one's 1/3, then the perpendicular one would be -3/1 or -3. That's the difference. But these are parallel. I just wanted to show you those. That's it for this video. I will come back and do the practice problems, and we're not actually doing this in order based on how you're looking at it online. So I'm just going to keep going. Let me know what questions you have. Reach out to me.